All right, so the first form of linear functions we talk about is called slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is written in the y equals mx plus b format. So y equals is the most important part, so y has to be by itself. And then there's usually a couple parts that come after the y equals, something connected to the x, which we call m, which is abbreviation for slope, and then some constant at the m. Now sometimes it's plus 3, sometimes it's minus 2. But the number in front of the x we call the slope. That's our rise over run in a graph, so how much we go up and over from point to point. And the b, the number by itself, is the y-intercept. That's our starting point when x equals 0. So if you see an equation like this, y equals 2x plus 3, and it asks you what form it is, because it starts y equals, y is by itself, we know it's in slope-intercept form. And so there's two things we know about this graph just by looking at the equation. We know the slope, the number in front of the x, is 2, which as a fraction can be written as 2 over 1. So we know that we're going to go up 2, positives are up, negatives would be down, and then to the right 1 from every point on this graph. Now we don't know what our starting point is until we look at the y-intercept, which in this case is 3. So we know our y-intercept, which is a point, is 0 over and 3 up. So this is the y-intercept. That's our starting point. So if I was to graph this, I would go up to 1, 2, 3, 0 over and 3 up. That's that number right there, our y-intercept. And then from there, I would use my slope, which says I'm going to go up 2 over 1 every time I go from point to point. So if I'm here and I go up 2 over 1, I would end up here. If I went up 2 over 1, I would end up here. And I could keep going up 2 over 1 over and over and over again. I could also go back 2 over 1 if I wanted to, until I ended up with a linear equation that matched that graph. And so anytime it starts y equals, that is going to be slope-intercept form. And so in this case, y is equal, so I know it's in slope-intercept form. I know the slope is the number in front of the x, and the starting point is the number by itself.